the parenting lens that changes everything. Romans 12 verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Have you ever noticed how quickly our perspectives can shape our reality? For instance, if we walk into a room expecting it to be messy, chances are we won't be surprised if we find it messy. Conversely, if we enter the same room anticipating order, we'll likely see things in an orderly state. The same holds true for parenting. The perspective we bring to parenting directly impacts our children's development. So today we are looking at the lens that shapes our parenting journey. Fear or faith? Let's start with fear. Fear-based parenting often stems from past experiences, trauma, or societal pressures. Parents who are driven by fear are constantly worried about what could go wrong. They see potential threats in every friendship, activity, or opportunity, always questioning if it's the right choice for their child. Cultural pressure adds its own whispers of fear, telling us, "You're not doing enough. Other parents are better. Your child needs to measure up to these impossible standards." Their decisions are made from a place of anxiety rather than wisdom. Fear-based parenting allows the world around you to set the standard for your children instead of using God's word as the only standard of parenting and measurement. This lens creates reactive parenting. We're always putting out fires rather than building foundations. When we parent from our own unhealed wounds, we unconsciously project our pain onto our children's experiences. We live in a world where everyone is a suspect, and in the spirit of creating safe spaces for our children, we end up isolating them completely. Now let's shift our perspective to faith. Research shows that parents who operate from a growth mindset rather than fear-based reactions create more resilient, confident children. This perspective is a faith-based one. It recognizes that your child is fearfully and wonderfully made, with unique gifts, purposes, and a divine calling on their life. Faith-based parenting operates from absolute trust in God's goodness, believing that He who has began a good work in the child will carry it to completion. Philippians 1 verse 6. This lens creates proactive parenting. We build character, nurture gifts, and prepare them for their God-given destiny. In Psalm 139 verse 14, David writes, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made." When you see your children as God sees them, beloved, chosen and destined for greatness, everything changes. As Christians, we must rest in the blessedness of God and go to Him, who is their Creator, for guidance when confused in our parenting journey. Ask God to show you who He created them to be, then parent toward that vision. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 rightly says, "Before you were born, I knew you." God knew your children and what they will become before you ever conceive them. When challenges arise, faith responds with prayer, wisdom, and confident hope rather than panic. This is not to say we don't sieve their choices and just abandon them to their fate. No, we do guide and protect them. Today, choose to see your children through the lens of faith. What's one way you can shift from fear-based to faith-based parenting this week? Share in the comments. Your story might encourage another parent. Until next time, rest in the blessedness of God's love.